Stay out of trouble, or make sure I don't notice it.
You're still here? Merla, surely you have something better to do.
I only carry the freshest herbs, mind you, plucked from the best sources.
Welcome to my fine establishment, amigo. Welcome back. Care to take a look around?
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A wheel of uneven spokes. It shatters under its own weight.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure, perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. The stress of war can leave a mark on the soul, but this is different. Quite different. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted, like the flow of a river. And risk joining her in exile? No. Without this workshop, we have nothing. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when we started talking about souls. What did I miss?
If there's nothing else, I have a great deal of work to do. I hope you find answers, even if you don't like where they lead.
Yeah.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? And why? It's almost like something is lashing out, defending itself. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Animancy takes a lot of preparation. You might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Right now, I would rather focus on the work ahead of us. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course, you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess. I don't go into the lab anymore. The phantasmal focus is one of a kind. You can't miss it. This is so embarrassing. An animancer who won't set foot in her own lab. I'll explain everything later. For now, I just need the device. The lab is just downstairs.
That's where her parents died. I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great. Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Guys, we can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose. Not sure these walls are keeping much out.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I don't think you were in any danger. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. Quilici thought so too. Even Ignacy offered to lend a hand. But I forbade it. My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands. And it destroyed her. My father. Our family.
I've heard that story too many times. This land takes more than it gives.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened. I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fior. There should be some equipment waiting for us. Naku Tedek is special. I used to play there as a child and take rubbings of the memorial plaques. Historians think it may have once been a burial ground, a place where souls can return to the earth. So, we kept the tradition alive. Many of our founders are buried there, though not all of them, as you discovered. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. That's your intuition talking. Listen to it. I wouldn't be anywhere without mine. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fior. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. That was not my finest hour. I was so angry. Mistakes were made. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, I don't want there to be any mistakes.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off. Before we leave, don't forget to settle any unfinished business. I'm going to miss this place. Ah, I love Fiorme Siverno, even when I hate it. Before we leave, don't forget to settle any unfinished business. I grew up in Emerald Stair. Used to think I'd die here, too.
Yeah.
Naku Tadek is a place of spiritual power. We're sure to find the answers we seek.
Why do they call it that anyway?
Good question. It means ancient soil. Naku Tadek was old when these lands were young. The godless built around Adra pillars. Maybe they've felt a deeper connection to the spirit world. My friend Yatzli is a scholar of the godless. She could tell us more. I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that, and she deserves it. Right, changing the subject? Oh, good. Let's have it. Anyway, what do you need? Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vricus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Ask away. Right, changing the subject? Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that I'll cut a hole in your water skins. Oh, good. Let's have it. Anyway, What do you need? Right. I'm sure you'll find... Go ahead. As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but... Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that, I'll cut a hole in your... Pleasant dreams.
Those dreams seem to be getting worse. How are you feeling? Ask away. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. I noticed that too. It says a lot. I can't say what I'd want the future of Animancy to look like, but there's no one I'd trust more than Giada to figure it out. Sure. What do you want to know? Then I've got answers. Some of them may even be true. Sure. What's on your mind? Night, Envoy.
Envoy? Ask away. I think you know almost as much as I do at this point, Amakuo. Not sure what else to say. There is something big in the southeast of the region. Most hunters say to stay away from there. Let's see. Water can be a problem out here. Don't drink from the rivers or creeks you find here. They're full of saka. Literally. You can get good water from inside most plants here, especially the larger vines. Or you can tap most of the trees for sap. I always put out some kind of cloth to collect the dew in the morning. That's assuming Kai doesn't take it and use it as a nose rag. Oh, there's another tip. Make sure the people you're traveling with aren't NIM dudes. Right, changing the subject? If I must.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You're forgetting all the bridges I burned on my way out. No, that part of my life is over. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Such a troublemaker, but a thoughtful one. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Just making sure I know what I signed up for. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. Anything in particular? Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. We'll get to that. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Of course, you and I know better. He died peacefully, content that what he made would outlast him. His son has been in charge ever since, for better or worse. I have good reason to be critical, but I also know his life isn't as easy as it looks. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret, I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. What do you want to know? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Good question. Mental and emotional pressure, specifically. Marius could hunt the great western stag if he set his mind to it, but his own feelings elude him. When he wants to find himself, give him room to do so, but don't push him. Just be there to catch him. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. Pior Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fiore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. Anything's possible, but there are significant problems to overcome. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. She was very kind, but there were days when she lived in her head, and days that stretched into weeks. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked, but the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. Good question. The idea of finishing my parents' work gives me a warm feeling. But do I want it? I know I've got one lifetime, and I want to do something with it. Aren't you full of questions all of a sudden? This is the one life where I am Giada Castel, Animancer extraordinaire. In the next life, I could be an idiotic tree. I have an obligation to use the time I have. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Not for long. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. I'll tell you whatever I know. Let me think. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. What are you so curious about? I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Pleasant dreams. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. Usually, my people send traitors into exile. Let nature sort them out. Exile in the living lands is not the worst fate a criminal can suffer, but it's close, and always deserved. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Until next time. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsley reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days, she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. If I must. I wonder if I packed enough gear. No matter. We'll make do with what we have. Thanks for talking.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Dream of beauty then, we will ponder and grow nightshade.
There should be some equipment by the Adra pillar.
We remember these walls. Yes, we have been here.
The land itself is rich with essence. Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery, armed and ready for mischief.
I'm 2 out of 3 anyway.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? Good. We're on the same page. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the Dream Scourge to show its ugly face. This is no time for hesitation. All right. Drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Like I could go for some pie.
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine, we twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. That we're on the right track. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. It was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. My thoughts exactly. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. After you.
We gotta see what's down there now. How far down does this place go?
I'm still wondering about that door, and why it opened for you. Maybe you came here in a past life? Maybe you meant to come here in a past life, but never made it. Unfinished business. Too bad none of us are watchers. A watcher would be useful right about now. Let's keep exploring. I'm sure there's more to learn. Untouched ruins? My colleagues are going to be jealous. No one's been here in a long time. Better watch out for traps. Have you ever seen anything like this? No one's been here in a long time.
Watch your step. Feels like this place was hidden for a reason. Seeing this place makes me wonder what else is lurking beneath us. Watch your step. Feels like this place was hidden for a reason.
Gods! Did you open that door? I've been praying here for ages. And in all that time, I've never found a way down to the lower levels. Not one. You're going down there, aren't you? I wish I could help. All I can tell you is to take care. I tell the acolytes to walk softly for a reason. Something is alive down there. Or if not alive, moving. Whatever it is, it knows only the depths. If you don't return, I'll tell the others what happened.
I feel better about this already.
It warms my heart that Eothas has a place in the living lands.
I did not bring us here to explore. Clearly, something wants to be found.
Does this feel like the start of a missionary campaign to anyone else?
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you?
Right behind.
Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom. A little power goes a long way. I wager those artifacts you found fit together somehow. Let's have a closer look at camp.
Aye, aye.
Another win, but who's counting?
Just a little spark.
How far down does this place go?
No, the knife that pierces in the dark.
Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless. Watch your head. There's a trap by the back. Not saying a word. Your reputation is well deserved. A little power goes a long way. Untouched ruins? My colleagues are going to be jealous. Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
It's surprisingly colorful. Not sure what I expected.
We've seen godless architecture before, but I've never seen godless art until now. Just imagine how much has been lost. We should keep moving. I don't mean to slow us down. I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice. Charge it up. Just a little spark.
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it. We're going to die down here, aren't we? Well, have a good run. Protect the envelope.
We make a good squad.
That'll show him.
Yeah.
Death into life. Interesting. The godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Every other culture I've come across reveres the gods, even if they give them different names and pictures.
Can you imagine life without any gods to guide your destiny? Without anyone shepherding you this way and that? Of course I can imagine it, but I'll wager you have a harder time.
Yeah.
Quiet as a soul.
They're having fun. Ready to make it.
How did they even get down here? Clever things must have their own secret entrance. I'll say it, I'm impressed.
Too hot!
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
Come, hear us through the Adra. Find us.
Charge it up. Just a little spark. A little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. Charge it up. Place your hand on the Adra. I want to see how your soul reacts. We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The Godless erected many important sites around Pillars of Adra, though I can't speak to their motives. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sapadal. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. Barat, we feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us, free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Alas, we have been cut off from the land we knew and loved for too long. We could not trace its hills and valleys for you. But there are others who can. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akita, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? We offer you gifts any would covet, and you search them for rot? You are our kin, the seed of our soul. We would see you avoid our fate. We would see you survive. Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Something like that. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? Oh. I'm sorry, what? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible! How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. You could be right, but we have no way of knowing for certain. Not yet, anyway. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it, and I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? I don't like the sound of that. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on, there's a way up those stairs.
All right, let's return to Fior Mesiverno. I need to go over my notes.
Seeing this place makes me wonder what else is lurking beneath us.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here changes everything.
A hidden god in the living lands. Who knew?